Welcome back, this is Still Whiskey. I'm Devin.
And I'm Vince.
I'm Rich.
And today we are reviewing Old Forester 1924, the latest addition to the Whiskey Road series. Let's see how it is. Ah!
(1924) Old Forester, part of the Whiskey Road series, which is comprised, and if I could remember this off the top of my head, I would. 1870, 1897, 1910, 1920, and now, lo and behold, the 5th edition, 10-year-old, 1924.
Ooh.
Coming in at a big fat 100 proof.
Yep.
I could be wrong.
10-year-old juice.
I could be wrong, but I think that they are going to be releasing.
Oh, no.
What in the world?
Oh, no.
Dude. Devin just made a big fat mess.
Well, sometimes on these bottles, like the opening on them, it was already dripping. It was already dripping. Sometimes the openings on these bottles just don't lend for a good pour.
Just so we're clear, we're
good,
blaming
easy
the bottle.
I hear that they're releasing this once a year. I don't know for sure if that's true.
It's the bottle's fault.
But that's what I hear. Yeah, that's a lot.
Dude, there's a lot of whiskey everywhere.
Yeah.
You got excited. All right, so Devin's excited. I've been excited for this because it's really cool. I have the 4 whiskey row bottles, and so I wanted to finish that out with one of these. Ooh, pretty potent ethanol there on the nose. And so it's cool. I think collections are cool. I think collections of things are cool, specifically whiskey. And so having all of them is a really neat lineup. And then they changed the labeling too, right? They went from that old Prohibition style to the kind of more contemporary look.
Yeah.
Old Forester, I love Old Forester.
Never gets old.
It never gets old. It's
See what I did there?
Yeah. So like all the other bottles in the Whiskey Row series, the dates relate to some significant event in Old Forester's history.
Yeah,
that's right.
And so this one's tied around the Mr. Brown himself going and taking barrels of whiskey with different mash bills to warehouse on a certain street, and Old Forester became a thing.
That's right. He made an infinity bottle. Here we are.
And so this is honoring the 100th anniversary of it. And so you saying then we'll release a...
I believe that they're going to be doing one 1924 10-year.
One 10-year release.
Yes. That's what I have heard.
Yeah.
I've not verified that, so fact check me, please. But I believe that's the case.
The tough part on this is the MSRP.
Yeah.
So the MSRP on this is 115 big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do the others come in at? Because I've seen them from like 40-something, high 40s to like...
I think we're at like 65 to 70 now for 1920.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then 1910, I think, is like 50,
always that
60.
high though.
No.
Which I feel like, I mean, whenever I run out of the 1920, I go and get another one.
Yep.
So knowing that this, because that does feel like then it's going to be a yearly release. If it's the 115 mark, right? Like that
because
feels
of the
like
price point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've aged it for 10 years, so they're trying to get a
but
lot
we see
of,
other 10 years out of
Yeah.
it. But like if it's a yearly like a limited finding release, then that makes sense, right?
Sure.
So
Okay.
But yeah, so I think, I don't know.
So
it does fit well with the other bottles. It's expensive for a 10-year-old whiskey.
what are you getting on the nose? On the nose.
I get bourbon. A little.
little oak.
No, I do get a little apple cider though.
A good infinity bottle.
Yeah. I do get some cider, honestly.
For me, I get graham cracker.
Oh,
Really?
I get like, you know, if you open like the little pouches of graham cracker and then you just smell that.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Get in there.
Yeah, snort. Bring it back to your youth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what I could use right now? It's just a little snort on that glove crackle pack.
Little graham cracker crumb. Oh my god.
Yeah, it doesn't smell bad. The ethanol is definitely there up front, which is crazy for 100 proof.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll taste it
I need
now.
some water. I might have had some chocolate before.
Literally, we're getting ready to start, and he's popping chocolate, and we're like, "What are you doing?"
This tastes like chocolate and blueberries.
That's so when I tasted it, I'm like, oh, I get chocolate. Oh wait, that might be me.
Do you get the cider? I haven't tasted it yet, but on the nose, I'd definitely get a cider.
No.
Really?
No. Yeah, definitely like a caramelly, vanilla-y, butterscotchy like combo on the front of the palate there.
I'm surprised by this.
Ooh. It is different than any other Old Forester that I've had.
Yeah.
It is different.
It's good.
It is good.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little more rich. Like you can definitely get that oak coming through from being in the barrel more. But it's definitely more like a rich kind of flavor. Good mouth coat. I like the proof point.
It's definitely a lot.
It's a little hotter to me than 100 proof.
Yeah.
Like,
the first hit on the tongue, it definitely has a higher.
But I'm not saying it's like it's overbearing or unapproachable. That's not it at all.
It's a lot of fruit. It's fruit forward more so than I think
Yeah.
I've had it.
I think
An
there's
Old Forester.
still a little bit of like the leather tobacco there.
Yep.
But I'd agree with you on like a plum cherry type
Yeah.
in that zip code for me.
Postal code for the Europeans.
Postal code. Yeah.
Almost. Don't get
Culturally
me.
appropriate. Cheers to you.
Don't get me wrong here, but like a High West tends to be really fruity. This is like a dumbed down version of like a Midwinter's, where Midwinter's is very cranberry, very plummy, very. This is not that, but it's in that direction more so than you don't agree with that?
I mean, there's a lot of statements there I don't agree with.
I'm not sure. I think there's more leather tobacco than
Yeah.
than that.
I mean, you're going
that
from
one.
a rye that's finished in port, all this, to a bourbon that is a 10-year aged like Brown-Foreman bourbon.
But this is pushing that direction more than a lot of other bourbons would
It's just
be.
a bit more fruit forward than I think Old
Yeah.
Forester.
But I mean, we've had some fruit forward like Stags and other ones that are
we
fruit
have.
forward, right?
Yeah,
Sure we have.
but those are also a lot hotter. This is a lot softer, a lot easier to drink, a lot more.
I think this is actually very good.
I
I
like it a lot
read
too.
some things on this bottle because again, it took a little bit of time for it to get to Utah, and so I'm reading on this bottle and what people are saying, and actually a lot of the reviews were pretty. Well, I mean, they weren't super amazing, and I'm sitting here drinking this, going, I think this is very crushable. Honestly,
I like it.
I think it's very crushable. I think it's getting a bit of a bad rapping. You know, part of that is because some of the other Whiskey Row products are stellar, especially for their proof or for their price.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, before we get into price, why don't we tackle experience ratings? What would you give it?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I'd give it a B. I'd say sit right at B. Like it could drop a little bit lower than that, but B is good. Like it is a good pour. Like
I agree.
I'm excited, and the flavor that comes off it. Like it'll be interesting to see. Let's open up a little bit. Like actually, let's sit in the glass some. You know, that's the one thing we kind of don't do on these is actually let it sit for a minute. But
Maybe a revisit.
yeah,
I really wish that they would make it like 110.
we're not on. Oh, proof?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna definitely, if it was a higher proof, I would be very confident in a B.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It sits just under a B, but it's not quite a B minus.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep. What about value though? At 150. So those ratings, the B minus, whatever, that's just experience.
Yeah.
So what about price
Yeah.
point?
Yeah. So
Because I'm not going to be a
MSRP is 115. I'm seeing secondary go as high as 190.
No,
Yeah.
I would not.
Yeah. I think average is probably right around 150 to 160.
Okay.
Right now, so it's not. I mean, just it's limited. Right.
Sure.
You can't like Utah is out of them. They're not
Right.
coming back until
They're
next
not.
year.
Right.
Like, so that adds a piece to it.
Yes.
So if I look at it, say I'm looking at like the $130 range. Let's look at the $130 range. I would say it's probably a C. Like, but that's also because it's limited. Because it's like the one time. Like when the next one comes out, I'll probably do that one again. So like if I'm including the future of if this is a yearly release, C plus. I don't think it's a fair deal. So that's the thing. It's like for a 10-year whiskey, like
Right.
Bottle Bond, it's not a fair deal.
It's not a fair deal.
So I'm gonna go C.
I'm gonna go C as well, which I'm just want to clarify. That's one of the reasons why it brought me to a Midwinters, because Midwinters is an annual release. It's just a little bit under 100 proof. It's fruit forward. I know it's not the same. I'm not saying that they're the same.
Okay.
But it's in that space in my mind for that reason. And so I would say at $115, if I get it for that, I would get it. But if I have to pay, like I'm looking at maybe paying $150 or something like that, I'm gonna do it one time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like the other piece too is like because they kept it the label, the Whiskey Row, I think that's hurting them. If they would have done a different release, like
Different thing altogether.
yeah, like a different like labeling, things like that, because
Yeah,
they
maybe.
tied it to things that are on
Cheaper,
a lower
like
end.
half
Yeah.
price. Yeah. See, kind of like I would give it from a value only perspective. I give it probably like a D plus, C minus, and that's because I'm gonna buy it once because I want to fill out my collection. I'm gonna buy it once because it is tasty and it looks cool and blah blah blah.
It is good.
But I am certainly not going to be happy about paying the $115, and I'm probably not going to go buy another one anyway.
Liar.
He'll forget next
But I'm
year.
going to tell myself that I'm not,
He'll forget next year.
so that I feel better about my collection.
It's still whiskey.
It is still whiskey. It's actually good whiskey.
It's
Actually,
very good whiskey.
I'll tell you, it's better than a lot of the reviews I saw.
Yeah. No,
Yes.
I know. Like,
Sure.
yeah,
Those
there
were
was a
harsh.
lot of hating on it, and everyone's different. Like, even between us, we're different. So,
Yeah.
I think it's worth trying once and seeing what you think. It's a cool bottle. If you have the Whiskey Row series, finishes it out. But let us know what you think. Comment on the video. Let us know. Let us know if you think we are totally wrong on this. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, because we know there's lots of those people.
That's right.
Yep, get her done. But
Thanks for subscribing, all of you that would do. We love
But what
you.
do you think? What do you think? Might be off my rocker.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
still whiskey.
We love you. See ya.
Cheers.